Welcome back to another episode of our Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Keith.
We're the podcast that covers topics that you can cover later, like at a dinner party.
It's a good place to do it.
Topic of discussion today. This one's rough and potentially just really scary. Tracking the wildfires across Los Angeles. This is from the New York Times. Major fires driven by fierce winds have scorched parts of the Los Angeles area. Basically, the circumference of Los Angeles is all fire right now. Destroying homes, businesses. At least 5 people have died. Thousands of buildings have burned, and fires are still far from contained. Those Santa Ana winds making it very difficult for air teams to get to these fires to extinguish them. The largest fire is in Pacific Palisades, which is much like the rest of Los Angeles, like pretty densely populated. It's burned more than 15,000 acres as of today, Thursday morning. So obviously California in a state, or at least Los Angeles in a state of emergency right now. And though they are in kind of their peak rainy season, they have had the driest season in quite a few years this year. So
I don't know too much about the neighborhoods there, but I saw earlier this afternoon they said the fire's made its way to Hollywood Hills.
There is a new fire in Hollywood Hills. There's basically 3 main ones right now. The Hollywood Hills did start today. There's the Pacific Palisades one. There is the Hearst fire, which is near the museum, and then the Eaton fire, which is closer to Burbank. So obviously those studios. This is all sort of north of Los Angeles, which is actually kind of my old stomping grounds. So really hard to see some of these neighborhoods burn. And I can speak from experience, having lived through some of the largest fires or some very large fires. I was out there for a St. Thomas fire, and it looks like you're in hell. It's the only thing I can really give you to say, picture it, because it's insane to drive past hills that are just inflamed with what seems like a wall of fire. And there's really nothing you can do about it either when it's coming. The ash falls like snow. The sky is colored red from the fire. The smoke blocks out the sun, and you can't breathe. It's really terrifying.
Yeah, there was some pictures of the sunrise this morning with the black or the red sky was pretty neat looking.
It makes for very interesting photos. Also, with the wind, depending where you live, you can end up actually with some amazing sunsets due to the kind of particles in the air. Not a wind, not sunsets we want to see, but it's crazy because it's just thousands and thousands of acres in a very densely populated area, just taking on huge neighborhoods. And the Santa Ana winds, I think, have recorded gusts up to nearly 100 miles an hour. I know I definitely saw recorded 90 miles an hour, around 50 on average. So really merciless right now. I think it's interesting, though, the way the media initially covers disasters like this, because you get the quick facts of this is really bad. What's causing it? What are some, if there is a success of putting out anything. I believe these fires are 0% contained. I don't know that for sure. I don't know if I've read a containment percentage. But there's always a story of also what's hindering them being put out. In this case, the wind. Also, big one, the drought in Los Angeles. There's not a lot of water, or was not water allocated to a reserve. And so there are some bone dry fire hydrants, apparently.
I'm curious how the fires start, because it's not hot, right?
It's definitely not that hot. It can be something as simple as somebody tosses the cigarette butt out. It could be kids having a campfire. That caused one before. It could be sparks off of a train. It could be sparks off of a car if something happened. Maybe there's a lot of ways that really simple things that you don't think about if you're not in a super dry area that can cause these fires to kick off. And then everything's so dead and dry. And there's obviously also a lot of brush. So they take very quickly. It's just a perfect storm kind of a setting. And that's part of the issue too, I guess, in thinking through how media covers this is they always talk about how they roll back, um, just certain budgetary spending. Like it's a government, they decide not to clear brush. Well, that's fuel for a fire.
Yeah, true. I mean, there's a YouTube channel I watch, Outdoor Boys. He's a massive YouTube channel. He lives in Alaska, and he always goes out in the winter and makes these shelters. And he's always chopping down trees. And he says while he's doing it, he cuts down the dead ones because then it helps,
Yeah, it's not to
prevent forest
clear out
fires.
anything alive.
Yeah.
It's to clear out the dead stuff.
Yeah, and that's what he uses for his firewood and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, California on fire and Texas is freezing.
Yes.
And they're going to get like a foot of snow in Dallas.
Which is pretty crazy because I would also say Dallas definitely never gets a foot of snow.
No.
At best, they have, because I've lived in both of these places, but I can confirm I'm not bad luck.
Oh,
I don't think it's me. It's maybe because I left. So I apologize for not keeping things in check and causing absolute chaos before I left or after I left. But Dallas typically gets like an icy February. But I mean, I don't know that there was ever a recordable amount of snow while I was there. So not that I alone am a weather station, but I don't think that's normal. I'll say that for Dallas.
I don't think it is either.
Gonna go out on a limb, say weird.
Yeah. We had a place real far south in Texas when it's never frozen before. And ever since we bought the place, every winter it's frozen.
Yeah.
Because all of the pipes are just hanging underneath the house. They're not enclosed. So it causes huge problems down there. And yeah, they're like, that's never happened before. And it's happened, 3 or 4 years in a row now.
And that's down near Houston.
Yeah.
That's literally as far south as you get, basically. Yeah. Very strange. I mean, the size of the fire in California, not normal. I think these will set records, but it is also just not that there's a fire season, but there is a time of year that more susceptible to fire. This is supposed to be the rainy season. So really surprising. I hate the way the media covers it, though. I guess this is what I was about to get at. And we'll probably, honestly, it'll be interesting to watch Dallas snow get covered and see if it gets the same treatment, because it gets covered so politically. Immediately it becomes like the faults of politicians. And there probably is a lot of fault to be placed in different areas, but I feel like it's so important to just like stay on like tracking maps and giving people facts of like what is happening, what is contained, where should you not go, what should you stay away, like really focusing on actually helping people and not being like, I guess I was just disappointed because it's like, man, every single news outlet is like becoming a political pundit of placing blame, like,
Yeah, and I mean, wildfires are a natural occurrence in nature.
They do.
So
they do
what
just
if
happen.
No humans were here. They're having forest fires no matter what.
No matter what.
So I mean,
and who knows? I don't know that I've seen like a reason. They probably can't track the cause of this fire or some of these fires just yet. I think like the Hollywood Hills, and the I don't know. I think a couple of the fires are actually it's like the wind blew embers and started another fire.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I don't know
with those wind speeds.
Yeah, I don't know what caused the Pacific Palisades fire, but it was going to happen. It does happen. There are definitely things though within that government's control that could lessen it. Dallas will be interesting with a foot of snow because any southern state's just not prepared. No. You're not going to own that much rock salt. You're not going to own that much like whatever syrup that they used to put down if they still use that.
That city is gonna shut down.
Oh, for sure. Like Atlanta is always awful. Yeah. And they honestly, I feel like Atlanta does get dustings like every year, but somehow they never seem prepared. But there's not enough snow trucks, if any. So I'm sure Dallas is making some calls to see what they can get. But with the northern states just getting hit by a decent amount of snow, it'll be interesting to see what's available to them to get there in time.
Yeah. I feel like Georgia gets hit
Every year.
And they're like, what is this?
Yeah, every year they're surprised.
Yeah. It's like,
every year.
The joke's up, guys.
Wrap it up, Georgia.
Yeah.
Get some snow plows. Get some rock salt. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, the snow came, it started Sunday, I think, here.
Here in Indiana, yeah.
Yeah. We decided to brave it, and we went downtown to the Colts game.
Oh, God.
Because it was the last game.
Yeah, so when you came out, it was like
super cheap
blizzard.
tickets.
Yeah, $5, right?
Yeah, I think ours were like 12.
Not bad.
But we didn't get upper deck. We were a little lower.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that works for me.
We'll splurge.
Yeah, we'll splurge a little bit.
Let's go see us get cut at these playoffs.
Yeah, we left like early third quarter. So we missed, the overtime and all that stuff.
Yeah. But you also...
we didn't want to wait around for the after traffic in the snow. I was like, let's just go.
People leaving left in a blizzard at that time.
Yeah. Well, my thought was, if those fans in Buffalo can do this with much more snow, we can do it.
Sure.
I was like, let's go.
Okay.
That was my thought process of the incoming blizzard snow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, they hire the fans to shovel out all the snow.
Yeah, our seats are covered, so you don't have to do that.
So,
I don't think we had enough people there to have that sort of community, but it's a good thought.
I do have a complaint, though. It was Fan Appreciation Day.
Oh.
At the Colts game.
Was it?
What did you do? I mean, we did get free scarves, like Colts scarves.
Kind of a perfect day for that.
Yeah, so that was actually nice because I didn't bring one and I was a little extra cold. But none of the concessions were at a lower price. I would have thought like a
discount.
Yeah, like get rid of all this food, right?
No,
it was still.
Well, you got Blizzard pricing. They jacked it up actually because they knew you couldn't go anywhere else, and you might actually just be there.
That's another reason we left early. We were hungry.
Yeah.
So we left and yeah.
Well, to the Colts community and all the communities that are affected by crazy weather and serious storms, we wish you best of luck.
Yeah.
As I always do. And that's it for this episode of our Dinner Party Podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.